Hello ladies and gentlemen and all the core gamers out there, CAJman 777 here, bringing you a new series on the channel I like to call Metroid Prime. It's a game I've wanted to play for a while now. I've had the game for a while. I did some test recordings and I had some audio issues, so we're gonna have to go through all the stuff I got through, again. So that's gonna be interesting to go through. So we're gonna just start a new game up. But before I start, I do want to say this is more than likely going to be another 100% run, much like my Super Metroid series, as that is coming to a close on my channel very shortly as well. I decided to start the next game, and not chronologically in the series, but in order. So without further ado, we actually are going to start the game on hard mode, so let's just get her going. Because I am ready for this, and I'd just like to play. Unidentified distress beacon has been tracked to a derelict space vessel in orbit above Talon 4. Space, the final frontier, where we see giant floating space rocks, other planets, and interplanetary wars. Let's see if it actually comes up, right? That's going to be our important thing. If it comes up, we're good to go. If it doesn't, we got a problem. Welcome to the frigate Orpheon, ladies and gentlemen. I am going to boost the game's audio just a little bit so you guys can hear. Hopefully that's better. I mean, you guys can hear the game's rather loud to begin with, so let's see if all my sound decides to carry over from episode to episode. Because first episode, we're getting through the tutorial. And there she is. It is time for us to step behind the visor once again of Samus Aran in Retro Studios' greatest trilogy of all time. And Metroid's greatest trilogy of all time, if not the greatest trilogy of all time of any game. And for this time, this game was absolutely amazing for its time. It still looks good on this screen. And I'm playing this in HD. But I am, indeed, playing this with a GameCube controller. So I am playing this with the original setup. For it, I don't plan to scan everything. I will get like the scan logs and everything, but I'll get the lore, but I'll probably also read the lore as well for you guys when we get some lore, because obviously we're not going to get lore for a while in this game, and I just want everyone to appreciate this environment right now. It is freaking beautiful, and this is why this game is amazing. So, Frigate Orpheon, if many of you don't know in Metroid Prime, is a ship that is controlled by space pirates. Samus essentially was on a mission to investigate. We got our first little bit of creatures coming up, too. We've got a dead space pirate, death caused by severing of the spinal cord. And we've got a creature's entry here. We call them scarabs. That was a space pirate who was hanging on for dear life. I murdered him. He's now gone. So, we do have the charge beam. We can destroy the rubble. Unfortunately, you don't really use the charge beam to destroy much in this game. You do use it to destroy things every now and then, but let's see if we can get this going and continuing. It's so weird having to record this twice because your audio didn't record the first time. It really does feel very weird. Luckily, I can conveniently skip this with start. I don't want to skip too much, though. I'm just here to show the map of the area. We can rotate it about, and you can see that we have a lot of rooms to go into today. A lot of rooms. And you notice there is a path that connects back. This path is important. Unfortunately, we can't access it yet until we get to here. For many of you who haven't played Metroid Prime yet, this game was released in, I believe it was 2004, 2005, if I'm not mistaken. I will have to, I'll put an annotation on the screen as to when this game was truly released, but it's considered to be one of the greatest Nintendo trilogies of all time, if not one of the greatest first-person shooter trilogies. I mean, if you're combining it with like something like Halo, then meh. I give meh to you because Metroid Prime was amazing, and it still is. You can tell in here we've got a weak biological. It says a low life sign. That's alive. Got a space pirate hanging on for dear life over here. Both of his legs are apparently broken. They're just trying to fight for dear life. Because apparently they got just absolutely bodied by something. Creatures. No lore. Okay. I want to get the much lore as possible in the story because it really is like one of those games. Oh, grab the turret, thank you. It really is one of those trilogies where you really have to appreciate what it is. And you have to play it to experience it. Its atmosphere is perfect. This first tutorial level is perfect for its atmosphere. There's a plasmite. Now this enemy right here might look familiar to many people. Specimen solitary. Phase and level unknown. Status. It's a xenotropic life form. Unstable. Use caution. This enemy looks very familiar to many enemies in the Metroid series. That is because this enemy is the same exact enemy. I do like that they incorporated that. There is another turret up here that I do want to destroy and get rid of. Okay. There is lore here, which I do want. New pirate data has been downloaded into your logbook. Space pirates encrypted data decoded. Log 99923. Zebus has fallen. All ground personnel are presumed dead. Either killed by the hunter clad in metal, or the subsequent destruction of the underground facilities. Our research frigates, Orpheon, Syricus, and Paragam were in orbit at 0 hour and managed to retreat. Frigate Orpheon is now docked at Vortex Outpost. Orpheon's cargo appears to have a 100% survival rate. Metroids are healthy, but on restricted feeding schedules due to uncertain supply status. We are ready to begin research on the Metroids and their promising life forms. Security status remains at Code Blue. No signs of pursuit from the hunter. So, I was supposed to be tracking them? Oh, that was perimeter defense turret I could have turned on. Use the scan visor to scan things. Well, you need to go scan this, because elevator. Any other lore? Any other lore? I do like the lore in this game. Like, this game has a lot of lore to it. And what I do like about this game is that this game kind of introduces you to the tutorial in the right way. You've got R, which is your free aim. You've got L, which is lock on, as simple. You can also strafe by tapping the B button back and forth. Unfortunately, this poor little space pirate guy over here, severely internally damaged. Let's just put him out of his misery, even though he's... Brain hemorrhage. Creature's aim is hindered. That is a full health space pirate, folks. They do have quite a bit of health. Ugh. And that's our first instance of an energy unit there. We've got inside here, we've got a ice shriek bat. Look at that, nice and ice shriek bat, just kind of sitting there. It's kind of introducing you into some of the enemies. You've got a really weird looking thing. It's a standard shriek bat. You've got a plated parasite. You've got a plasmite. You've got a lot of enemies from the older games, which is really nice. So it's a nice little throwback to like a new game series. I'm sorry, Servant, you need to die. I'm putting you out of your misery. That way you don't have to suffer through any more than you already have. Even though they're space pirates and they're evil, well, I mean, what has to be done is done, so. Also, here is our first missile pickup. This is what missile pickups are going to look like through the entire game. With the exception of the 10 missile pickup. That looks a little different. But I do like the tutorial. X kind of turns you into a morph ball, and we do have bombs that we can use. But it is very useful as to what we have for us item-wise, weapon-wise at the beginning of the game. Now this one, on the other hand, minimal injuries. This guy is like alive and kicking, and I'm about to whoop his butt. Eat another missile. Oh no, he's dead. How'd that happen? And did anyone see what happened? All I saw was just a giant missile. So we do have ourselves a new form of door lock here. Unlike the standard two-dimensional side-scrolling Metroid games. Obviously, knowing that our aim is in first person is enough. But not only that, not only is having aim in first person enough, but is this the same turret? Yeah, it's just the... I am playing on, well, I was saying something, but they do have, missiles are very easy. There is a trick with missiles in this game that you can pull off. I'm not going to save here. There's no point to save. I'm going to live. I will be picking up these missile pickups because we're already where we need to go in the end of the tutorial. Like I said, this game has a really good tutorial, and it kind of draws you into the game and its atmosphere perfectly. The creepy music is just rectified by everything else. But as you can tell, for whatever reason, the Space Pirates seem to be doing some experimentation on the ship. Possibly with Phazon, as we know. They did find this new source of energy known as Phazon, and they are using it to power. They are full of experimentation, the Space Pirates normally, but then they're gonna find Phazon, and it's gonna be a lot of interesting stuff. So essentially, what we're about to do is we're about to fight the introductory boss to the game. Now, if you don't know who the introductory boss is, we already saw 2 of them in the facility itself. The Space Pirates we're already testing on these giant parasites, and here, we're going to meet the queen of these parasites, aptly known as the Parasite Queen. Once this awesome cutscene plays out, because it's going to be great. That is the Parasite Queen. Let the boss fight begin. Now, what you want to do is immediately... The Parasite Queen's weak point is on its head. Immediately, what you want to do is you want to scan the creature. The only reason you want to scan the Parasite Queen is because you will not lock onto its head unless you scan it. Its head is its weakest point. Other than that, you will lock onto its belly if you do not scan it. Then, after that, all you have to do is it does have this red barrier shield that's pretty simple to avoid. All you're going to want to do is keep using your strafe button, which is your lock on and B to do quick dodges. And if you really want, do the quick missile spam. She's really easy. She does have the shield protecting us. It does prevent all damage that she does take, with the exception in a few cases. I'm just going to blast some missiles in here. I will explain how I did those missiles super fast next episode. I kind of don't want to explain them right now. It would kind of ruin the moment of how quick I am bodying the Parasite Queen. The Parasite Queen is just a really easy boss. A beautiful introductory boss for what it is, but a super easy boss as well. Gone. Now, the Parasite Queen, unfortunately, decided to attach itself to a core. Now, you do have to strafe to avoid its acidic beam, but that's not the important part. The point is, it just attached itself to the reactor core of the ship. So much like any Metroid game, we have a beginning escape sequence. So you are given 7 minutes on the clock to escape. It's actually more than enough time. It's more than enough time, but if you're not used to the controls yet, it's just a lot easier. Perimeter defense turret disabled. You're gonna see there's a bunch of space pirates fighting another parasite. Oh my goodness! And the parasite decides to kill itself. So now a bunch of things have exploded, and we're just gonna wait for the parasite to fall. That way it gives us a little platform that we can quickly climb up. So they were doing a bunch of experiments on parasites. You need to die. You have so much health. Luckily, they don't take much in way of damage. Oh, well, he exploded. Never mind. A quick way to really escape out of this place is to use your morph ball to your advantage, although getting in this little tunnel is really difficult. Those enemies right here, if I can scan these, I technically already scanned them, but there's just standard little parasites. They're just native to Talon 4. Very easy. They don't do much damage. In fact, I don't think that they do 1 damage to you. They try and chase you down. They really can't do much. So all you're really going to do just to escape on this first part, you're just going to keep rolling. Like, really. The tutorial is just a fun little way to get you kind of into the atmosphere of the game. And honestly, Metroid Prime does it well. It does it better than any other tutorial I've seen in a long while for a game. Okay, yep, that explodes. Then we can just roll through here. I do not recommend rolling up slopes, as it does really slow you down a lot. We are going to try and get out of here as fast as we can. Last time I had 2 minutes flat on the clock when I escaped. This time I'm not sure what I'm going to have. But I'm going to try and beat my record. Last time it was 2 minutes on the escape in the recording where my voice was not recorded in any way, shape, and or form. Because my voice did not record. Can we get this door to load, please? Thank you very much. It is a very... I do like this first escape sequence because it's very atmospheric. You're on a destroyed frigate. We're just gonna wait for this thing to come at us, and then we're gonna move forward. I actually don't think you can get hit by that. I haven't tried, and frankly, I wouldn't want to know if you could get hit by that because that would probably kill you instantly because you don't have enough energy tanks. But we're almost there. We're almost there. We're almost there. Now, this being a space pirate ship, you gotta have the general of the space pirates, right? Well, there he is. Say hello to Ridley. Ridley's here. But that's not any ordinary Ridley. That is a cybernetically enhanced Ridley. They call him Meta Ridley. You would think, do we have to fight Ridley now? I mean, clearly we're trying to escape something, so much like Super Metroid, he's just gonna run away and be a coward. But we do have Grapple Beam, which is a very nice addition to the beginning tutorial. Unfortunately, you're not going to get that much. Defense turret disabled. So when you activate that, essentially what happens, boom. You take a very strong hit, it deactivates a lot of your power-ups that you had in the tutorial. You'll see how much it actually deactivates in a moment. It deactivates your barrier suit for heat resistance. You cannot turn into your morph ball. You cannot shoot missiles. You cannot charge your beam. You lose the grapple beam too. You lose so much just in this beginning game, but that's what makes this game great because it's always just a fight to get your power back. That way. And we have almost made the escape. The room is depressurizing. We definitely beat this in more time. We are already out of the door. Now if we can get out of here, we're good to go. Of course, I can't roll into my morph ball. It's going to be 2 minutes, 59 seconds, 258, 258, 257, and we're clear. As we watch the frigate Orpheon explode. We're greeted by our good friend Ridley, once again, who's flying to the planet Talon 4. Our objective? Pursue and destroy. And that's the tutorial sequence. Tracking on enemy target has been lost. Ground-based recon required. Beginning landing sequence. Ladies and gentlemen, we are about to land on Talon 4. And might I just say, the weather effects in the rain in this are beautiful. Look at it. It's incredible. Like, seriously. There's so much rain. There's so much thunder. There's so much lightning. It's absolutely perfect. I can't describe any other game that has like these nice weather effects at this time in, you know, in the past, at like this time when this game first came out. If many of you also don't know, I actually am playing this on a Wii system, but I do have a GameCube controller plugged in, and the GameCube game is actually in the Wii. But next time, we're going to start our exploration on Talon 4 with Samus behind the visor in a hostile alien environment. So until then, this is CAJ Man 777 signing off. Stay safe, everybody.